Hello again. I'm really excited to come to you with a review of a book I just finished reading, absolutely loved, and is very likely going to be a contender for my 2017 Best Books of the Year. That is Perfect Days by Raphael Montes. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This was written by a Brazilian author, which was recently translated into English, and I just adored it. This book is not for everyone, but if you're a fan of the books I usually recommend on my channel, this one might be up your alley. Let me tell you about it. Now, this is told from the perspective of Teo. He is a medical student. He ends up going to a barbecue and meets a girl who he really likes and then proceeds to stalk her, and then things go from bad to worse and he ends up kidnapping her. I personally am a huge fan of kidnapping narratives. It's just a storyline I just really enjoy. So if you also enjoy those, I definitely recommend this one. I was completely hooked in and absolutely loved it. I don't want to say too much more of the plot because it's really good to experience it for yourself. The main character is a very emotionally scarred, disturbed, deluded young man. He is very deadpan in a way. He lacks proper empathy and just really struggles to have normal emotions and behave and react in ways that are conventional in society. So he could easily be classified as some sort of psychopath, sociopath, and the story is completely told from his perspective, which I really enjoy. I love reading from a villain or antagonist perspective. And it's told as he attempts to kidnap this woman and then win her love, and it's completely addictive. So that is the basic premise around it, and I just completely adored every page of this book. A lot of other reviewers have described this book as quite slow, and it is slower paced. I would not call this a thriller because there is a little bit of action, but not a lot. I would personally recommend this as a suspense because I found it to be very intense, but not a lot of movement in terms of plot. But regardless, I could not personally stop turning the pages. I found this very immersive, very engaging. It basically felt like a book written just for me, so I was completely sold and loved it. The writing I thought was fantastic. I often have mixed feelings when a book is translated. I struggle with a lot of translated works, but the writing in this was so precise and taut, and I just adored it. I'm so excited to read more by this author because I was very impressed by this one. Now, this is the part where I need to warn everyone that this book is incredibly dark and disturbing. While I personally loved it, I'm a little hesitant to widely recommend this to all my subscribers because this book is not for everyone. This is probably one of the most dark, disturbing books I have ever recommended on my channel. So if you've had a problem with previous books that you picked up on my recommendation, this one might not be for you. But if you are game for an absolutely creepy, messed up story that is sick and gross and so addictive, this is one to pick up. I loved it. Again, this really fits my personal niche of reading that is that dark and disturbing mystery suspense, and this one was fantastic. I loved it, but be warned, it's messed up. There was points when I was reading it late at night where I kind of had to put it down so that I wouldn't have psychological issues because it was getting really dark. But I, again, really enjoyed it and would love more people to read this. I thought this was twisted in all the best ways. Given the subject matter, do expect all the trigger warnings. There is sexually explicit content, vulgar language, physical violence. Just assume, if you have triggers, assume it's in this book. But if you are up for a dark and disturbing, messed up ride, I cannot recommend this book enough. Please, please pick it up and then tell me what you think of it. If you've already read it, please let me know down below. Did you love it as much as I did? Because I would love to be able to gush with more people about this particular book. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them down below. Feel free to like this video and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Goodbye.